for some reason I just wasn't thinking of until you mentioned it, is being a good guest. Like, actually, what the heck are you going to do getting on all these podcasts if you haven't focused on what is the message? What are you going to do a little bit differently? And so there's quite a bit to unpack there. And I'm wondering, like, if you mentioned Listen Notes, by the way, which I'll definitely easily put into the resources section. We use Listen Notes. Anytime we have a client, we subscribe them to Listen Notes so we can take screenshots of where they rank.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Listen Notes for you guys is doing more than simply like being a place for you to know where you stand against other podcasters. But for you, it's almost a database of where you could find podcasters in certain genres. Do you mind starting there and just sharing with us how you use Listen Notes? Because we talk about Listen Notes all the time on the show, but we never really talk about it in that context.
Yeah, from this perspective, absolutely. I mean, it's great to see where you're ranked as a podcast host, but they have all sorts of information that you can dig into. Again, there is a paywall involved in the more details that you obtain from Listen Notes, but you can search categories. So if you're, let's say, artificial intelligence is your jam, so type in artificial intelligence, all of the podcasts that are associated with AI will populate. And then you'll be able to then filter it down to interview-based only podcasts. That's a huge one because you're certainly not going to get a guest interview on one that does not do interviews. So be mindful of that. So, being able to kind of filter down into what it is that the specific categories that you're looking for, and then making sure that they're interview-based. And then from there, it shows when the latest episode was published, which is also huge because there are a ton of podcasts that start and stop. And so you can reach out to a podcast that may have not have published an episode for 2 years. But, this content is evergreen. These podcasts live on even when they stop publishing. So making sure that they're still in operation I would say that that's a really huge tip when you're searching for podcasts.